Good morning, America. This is Mark Hale with a marketing tip of the day. Today I'm going to show you how to maximize the number of leads coming into your business for just pennies a day. There's no doubt that we're living in a digital age and everything is moved to digital, and it makes it a little easier in some instances to market, and also makes it a little difficult. What do you do? What works? I'm sure you spent a lot of money on marketing and advertising. Maybe you did Google pay-per-click ads, maybe you've tried the email route, maybe you've done the Facebook ads, and you're not getting enough return for your money. Now, there's a reason why you're not getting return for your money. There's not enough concentration of message on the prospect. And what I mean by that is we're living in an over-advertised society. People are being bombarded with over 1,800 to 2,000 advertising messages a day. It's coming from everywhere. And then you're on the computer and you've got ads flashing, you've got this and that, you've got emails, you've got, pens with the, logos on them, t-shirts, you name it. It's coming at you, almost 24/7. So how do you cut through all that clutter? Because the net effect of all this marketing going at people is they become kind of thick-skinned and resistant to marketing, to messages, to advertising. So how do you get through, and how do you get through above your competition and around your competition? Most businesses today have a online presence. They have a website, a Facebook page, some sort of, electronic presence on the, Ethernet. But that may not be enough, because a few years ago it was enough to throw up a website that was basically an online brochure, but today it's not. You need to do a little bit more with your website if you're going to generate leads. Now, this is not a video about, hey, your website sucks, you need a new website. I'm just throwing it out there that 98% of the people, of your customers, of your new prospects, the first thing that they do before they ever call you or walk in the door is they're going to go to your website and they're going to look at your company. They're going to read your reviews. They're going to make value judgments on your company and your business based on your website. Now, 15 years ago, it didn't really matter. People were still, calling on the phone and, as their method of shopping or going into the store. But everything changed a few years ago when the first iPhone came out, and then Android, and then a few years later, they had a big push to get Wi-Fi everywhere. And now it's never been easier to get on the internet and do a search. I think last research I saw, almost 55% of the traffic on the internet is via smartphone devices. So you can't ignore, part one, that your website does play a critical part of the success or failure of your business. So if 98% of the people that are going to be customers or potential customers for your business are going to your website as first action to look at your company and make a value judgment on your business and research, your website is a pretty important part of your business. Now, the second part of that equation is, how do you drive traffic to that website? Because it's not enough to have a website up on the internet and think you're going to do business. Let me ask you this. How many leads did you get from your website last week, last month, last year? If your answer is not many or none, then you need to look at this equation and pay very close attention. Because the website is part one. Part two is driving traffic to the website. So how do you drive traffic to the website? You can run Google pay-per-click ads, you can do Facebook ads, you can do email blasts. Now, of those three, they're all very competitive. A lot of your competitors, a lot of people are doing it. Everybody is out there electronically saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. And as I said earlier, people are bombarded with over 1,800 advertising messages a day, so they kind of block a lot of that out unless it impinges and gets through to them. But how do you get through to people? What is the best medium to actually reach people? Well, the best medium is most overlooked medium in the last probably 10 or 12 years, and that's direct mail. Direct mail is the only advertising medium that you can put a message directly in a prospect's hands. Now, you might be saying, I don't want to do direct mail. That's old. Nobody does it. It doesn't work. I've done it. It doesn't work. Okay, maybe some truth in that, but if direct mail doesn't work, there are three causes of why a direct mail piece fails. One, the mailing list that you use is bad, old, outdated, not correctly targeted to the right prospect. Two, the message you had was not effective. It didn't impinge. It was a wrong type of message. Maybe you were mailing postcards to Fortune 500 companies trying to get to the CEO. That's not going to work. It gets screened out long before that. A sales letter would be better in that instance. So, and then the third thing is lack of consistency and follow-up with the marketing program. So the question comes back, why direct mail? So I'm going to ask you, do you know anybody in the United States of America that doesn't have a mailbox? No, they don't. Everybody's got a mailbox, and the United States Post Office delivers the mail 6 days a week, 5 days a week in some areas, reliably every week of the year. You know, it used to be the same with the Postal Service had an ad, through rain, snow, sleet, or shine, you know, they deliver. Well, they do deliver. It's the most effective way to advertise, and it's the only way that you can advertise to actually put a message directly in that prospect's hands. Now, what they do with that message when they get it, they're going to do one of maybe 2, 3, 4 things. One, they're going to look at it and they're going to throw it right in the trash. Now, maybe that message didn't appeal to them. Maybe the offer wasn't strong enough. Maybe they just bought it last week. You know, they just weren't in the market. The second thing they're going to do is, if there's an interest, they're going to put the piece over and they're going to go online and they're going to Google your company. And here comes your online brochure, electronic brochure. They're making value judgments on your business. Now, the problem is when they type your business name in the Google search bar, every competitor that you have within a 5 to 10 mile radius of that prospect pops up on that Google search. And what happens is they go to your website, they look at you, then they go to the next website, and then the next website. And usually what happens on that is, you know, they'll go down a rabbit hole and they'll get distracted and forget what they're doing. So this comes to the third part of the equation. Follow-up. Now, we have a program, a mechanism called Direct Mail Scout that allows us to actually follow people around once they go to your website. And we can follow them on Google, Facebook, YouTube, you know. So you're combining more than one advertising medium. So you got direct mail. It's the only way to get through and impinge and reach the people. So now you invoke action. They go to the website. Now you're going to use Google, Facebook, and the electronic components to affordably follow them around every day when they do a search. So you're reminding them of that they had an interest in your company, in your service, so you're following up. And we've even taken it a step further. We can even identify people that have gone to your website. Now, some businesses, this is not a big deal or not important. It's other bigger ticket item businesses where people are in the shopping, buying cycle for a longer period of time. This is a very big deal. I can tell you the name, address, phone number, and email in about 50% of cases of people that go to your website. I can tell you what pages they went on, what they were looking at. Now, that's important because now if you're selling a bigger ticket, one of these longer shopping window type products, now you can follow up with a more concise direct message because you already know that they're interested because there was some interest. They went to your website. There is no reason for somebody to be on your website today unless they are shopping for what you sell or offer. They have a question about something. That's the only reason. They are a prospect. It's turned out to be one of the greatest assets that you have as a business is your website. Now, if it's poorly designed to convert traffic and your website's not converting, there's some things that we can help you with to help turn that mediocre website into a superstar where you're actually starting for change to get leads from your website and get prospects from your website. So that's one of the ways that you're missing reaching prospects today. And it all starts with what's the most effective advertising medium to get through to the people and reach them. It's not email, it's not Google ads, it's not Facebook ads. Too many competitors, too many variables, too much chance that you have to chance that somebody is typing your keyword in. With direct mail, you give me the demographics that you're looking for, the social, characteristics of your prospect, your best prospect, and I can pull up a mailing list of people that match that that criteria. Now you do your mailing to them. You don't know how many in that group of people. Let's say you're mailing 5,000. You don't know how many people are going to be in the market or have a need or ready to buy now, of that group, even though they fit the profile. But you mail your piece, and then out of that, you're going to get 2, 5, 6%. We've seen as high as 7% actually go to the website and Google the company. So these people have raised their hands and say, hey, I might have an interest in what you're saying. So now the marketing game begins. The follow-up begins. And that's the topic for the next video on how to do consistent, proper follow-up.